Hi, this is Sunny, back again with another video, finally. So I bought some Delta-17, picked those I like the most. Also this one here, Jaguar, the trifocal night vision system or multi-vision. I wonder if the creators were inspired by Splinter Cell, only that it's red instead of the green. Yeah, I like those games too. And of course, trendy, the Chris Vector, but at least it's a full auto version with a properly sized magazine this time, so that's good. Yeah, I didn't unbox any of those, and this is not an unbox video. I would, for now, prefer to keep them on card because, yeah, the thing is, I always hesitate with these. I would prefer cards where you could like slide the blisters off. Yeah, that would be more expensive to manufacture, but I would pay that $1 extra or whatever it would cost. Just, so you could put in the accessories, or you keep the accessories you don't need inside, or you can put the figure back in if you want to display something else on your shelf. Or when you relocate, that also comes in handy instead of throwing everything into a box or a bucket or whatever. But again, this is not a review. This is about something I picked up on a stream about 2.5 weeks ago.
I don't know if you've ever seen a Superhind.
I'm gonna look it up right now.
Okay, it's a South African invention. So
you said to me the word Superhind on the plane between Calgary and Atlanta last year, if you recall. And I tried to pull up my phone to look what a Superhind looked like, and I'm like, oh, we're on the plane. I don't have data right now.
No doubt. Yeah, basically it's a whole extra. Some pieces are added to the fuselage with you've got the IR dome on the front, and you've got an extra cannon on the front, and it's a pretty wild looking thing. It's a rare helicopter as far as Hinds go, just because only South Africa, this one company in South Africa was doing them for a few years. I'm not sure if they're still making them. I don't think so. They got into a bit of litigation with the Soviet parent company, so they're pretty rare, but they are a nice advanced version. They put in new avionics on the inside and a whole bunch of stuff on the outside. But if you look up Superhind,
holy Jesus,
I think it's the Mi-25.
You're looking at the image I was looking at a while ago.
Oh my God, look at that thing.
Give us a look, guys.
How does that even lift off the ground? Holy Moses.
Show the people at home, guys.
I'm trying to get like a decent picture of it here. This looks like a model. Ready?
Yeah. Oh, that does look cool.
Yeah.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay.
Look at the size of the cannon. Like, it's insane.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right.
Look at that! Look at that gun.
A Superhind in proper 1/18 scale, that's quite an ambitious project, especially for someone who just started his toy line. So I'm quite intrigued by that. So there's only one thing about this I'm kind of concerned about, which is the Superhind is equipped with a 20mm f2 vector autocannon, which has a fairly long barrel. My concern is that scaling it down to 1/18 and making it out of plastic, the barrel might tend to bend or break or something in between. I would fear that it end up being flimsy. Now, I could be wrong, and maybe it turns out to be way more sturdy than I expect, but if not, what could be possible solutions? So, for example, put in spare parts, like spare barrels, just in case. Another idea is to look into different kinds of armaments. I don't know yet if that helicopter is meant for the good guys or the baddies. Like, if you look at this one, for example, the Death Sparrow from Retrograde, this looks somewhat Russian or Soviet. I think she is. Yeah, Russia. So the idea could even be that instead of using the South African Superhind, you could implement the Russian version simply. And the Russians were not idle when it comes to upgrading their helicopters. Their newest version is the N35P or Phoenix, which was put in service in 2019, so not that long ago, compared to the Superhind, which I think was put in service in 2001. Now, apart from improving their avionics, the Russians also made some modifications regarding the armament. I mean, most people might remember the Hind with a multi-barrel gun at the front. New versions though feature a weapon called, I think, the Grisel Shibuno, or I will just call it Gurje because I don't know how it's correctly pronounced, the Gurje. The 23 Lima, which is a dual barrel autocannon in 23mm caliber. So this could be an alternative which might end up being a little sturdier than a 1/18 scale version of the F2 Vector autocannon. Or if you look a bit further back, there the Russians used a fixed dual barrel 30mm autocannon, the Gurje, I think 30-2 kilo, which was fixed and mounted on the right side of the fuselage. That might also give the option of including light and sound to a Hind toy, in that you include some kind of light conductor, or like fiber optics or something. Then theoretically have an attachment like a muzzle flash effect put on it, and then when you include batteries and push a button, some might be confused why a fixed gun on an attack helicopter, while most modern attack helicopters feature mobile cannons. That's because the Hind actually is mostly used for strafing runs if it attacks. So different from the attack helicopter 64 Apache, for example, which is also a bit more nimble. That's also why the Hind features very distinctive armaments like free-fall bombs, but I get to the additional various armaments later. So the Hind is not really a total equivalent to the Apache. That, for example, the Russian equivalent or counterpart would be the Havoc, the Mi-24, or the Camo 50, that would be the Black Shark, or the 52, the Alligator, which is quite remarkable, by the way, because that thing has 6 underwing hardpoints plus the 2 hardpoints on the wingtips, while other attack helicopters usually have only 4 underwing hardpoints. So there's a high emphasis on rockets, missiles, and those weapon pods. Regarding armament, besides a huge arsenal of various air-to-surface unguided rockets or guided missiles, the Hind also features pods for additional autocannons. Those guns are also 23mm Gurje autocannons mounted into a pod with about 250 rounds of ammunition. Additionally, the Hind also often carries containers for free-fall bombs, mostly cluster bombs, but also thermobaric bombs or vacuum bombs. So technically, an original Russian version of the Hind would give a larger variety on how to display it with various kinds of armaments or armament combinations. Regarding helicopters for the good guys, my suggestion would fall on the Bell 360 Invictus and the Sikorsky Raider X, which were part of the Future Attack Reconnaissance Aircraft Program, or FARA program. The program itself was cancelled just about 2 months ago, but it doesn't mean that those aircrafts were failures. I think it's more of an economical issue that the US military decided they want to keep their aircraft or their helicopters a little longer to save money. But as far as I know, Bell is still working on the Bell 360 and might offer it to other nations for purchase. Those two aircrafts are rather compact, with the Bell Invictus having a total length of about 12 meters compared to the 17.5 meters of the Hind. The Sikorsky Raider X, which is not a helicopter as such, but more a combination of a compound helicopter with two rotors and a propeller like you would find on a gyrocopter. The total length there is about 13 meters, so you could save about 30 to 35% in length compared to a Hind model. So instead of having a 35-inch Hind, you would have a helicopter with about 24-25 inches in length. Plus these would be like state-of-the-art weaponry. But these are just some of my thoughts and not to be held against what 5x5 Toys have planned for their Delta-17 toy line. Thanks for watching.